to Piano Shack with me, Woody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, this is a real tube preamplifier. It has a 12XA7 tube or something like that, a real vacuum tube in it, albeit driven at low voltages, but I've already done a demonstration of this together with my NORD ELECTRO, where we tried it out on some clavinet and Rhodes sounds to see how it really warms up the sound and adds some proper analog distortion and overdrive. Now, today we are going to try it out with the VISCOUNT Legend here, which has a really interesting function. There's actually an FX send, so you can send the signal, the dry signal, out of the organ into some kind of effect. It can be a tube amplifier, guitar pedal, overdrive, anything you like, and then back into the organ, and then it's passed through the rotary speaker simulation. So you could use something like this as a substitute for the digital overdrive simulation that's built into the organ, which does sound very good, but today we're going to find out if a real tube preamp sounds better. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It did sound rather good with the Electro, I think, so I'm really curious to hear if it warms up the sound of the Viscount here considerably. It's nice to add some analog circuitry, I think, to digital instruments. Although this looks like a old retro style organ, it's purely digital running software. So that's the actual little mic preamp. Let's hook it up. Whoops, sorry. I'm not sure if we're fully in focus or in the frame, but we have the FX send of the keyboard going into the input of the tube preamplifier, and then the output of the amplifier is going into the FX return. This is really cool, a feature I've never seen on a keyboard before. You can use this to connect any kind of guitar pedal, phaser, even a wah-wah or something, but I think it's ideally suited for some real analog overdrive. And there's the back of the preamp, so you can see what's going on there. And I've been letting the tube warm up for a little while. Yes, this is a real vacuum tube. Okay, the eagle-eyed may have spotted that I had it connected up wrongly at the back, but I fixed that now. So we're getting nothing from the organ without this being activated, which is kind of what you'd expect. I've got everything dialed down right now. Otherwise, these other buttons are on the default settings here. So let's start turning things up and see what happens. Actually, I changed my mind. Before we do that, we should have some kind of reference recording so that we can hear what it sounds like without the tube amplifier and with just the software digital overdrive circuit enabled. So let's try that now. Bit of chorus vibrato. Got the percussion on, that's nice. The rotary speaker is on. Let's add a little bit of drive. If we want lots of drive, we can enable the other overdrive model. Let's crank it up. Full organ, why not? Yeah, sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Let's see what the tube can add to the equation. So I've dialed back the drive. We're not hearing anything at the moment because we need to adjust the input and the output gain of this. We don't want to push it too hard because it will actually boost by about 24 dBs and we don't really want that. There we go. Let's get it to where the levels were about the same. And I'm hearing some distortion already, and that's not coming from the organ. I've switched off the overdrive circuitry. Sounds really nice. I like that. We can try pushing it really hard in a second, but I'm just going to go to a more cleaner sound. So we'll take off the input gain, back that down. There we go. Let's try with some more jazzy settings instead. Go to this set of drawbars. That's about as clean as you can get, I think. Let's try some really distorted sounds then by backing off the output and increasing the input. I think that'll do the trick. And I wish now I had connected the expression pedal so we can see how it sounds when you back off the... I think I might do that right now. That thing screams, yeah. So as you can hear, when we press down on the expression pedal, full gas, we get lots of distortion, which is kind of what you want. But back it off, it does clean up quite nicely, just like you'd expect. It's a bit extreme there. switched off to see what it sounds like. So I'm going to do that by doing that. I just noticed I had a strange drawbar setting, so apologies for that. There's one final little test that I just want to share with you. I've got the amplifier set here so that we don't have any input gain, so it's not actually distorting at all now, but maybe just adding a little bit of warmth and fatness to the sound, some analog magic, I'm not sure. This is what it sounds like without. Sorry for the playing, I'm standing up a bit awkwardly. So what I'm going to do now is plug in the amplifier. It's a little bit awkward to do this. Actually, I can leave that in like that. So this is one more time without. Let's plug it in. So it's adding a little bit of grit actually. What we could do is try adjusting the pad. I'll do that now. We can actually knock it down by about 20 dBs on the input gain stage. Because this is pushing a line output, so much heavier, hotter level than a typical microphone. So let's put the pad on there. And try and match the volumes. So that's without the amp, with, without, with, and I'm trying to get the levels the same so we don't get deceived by the volume difference. Louder things tend to sound better. That's with, one more time without. With a very minimal difference. I think there's something there, but it's very subtle. It's really the overdrive that makes this thing come alive. Okay, so there you have it. Now, I'm not sure if I will use this on a regular basis. I do think it added something to the sound. I like what I was hearing there. And what I'd like to do in the future, I'll carry on playing with this off camera a little bit. That was my first impressions and reactions that I shared with you there. But it takes a lot more time to evaluate something like this. So I will try experimenting with this, maybe even using it in combination with the digital overdrive. Perhaps using this just to fatten and warm up the sound, and then using the digital tube simulation. I don't know, but there's lots of experimentation and fun to be had. I hope you found that useful as well. Perhaps something that you consider doing yourself with your own Clonewheel or stage keyboard. These things only cost about 50 bucks. That's the amazing thing about it, and it's a useful tool to have in your arsenal. Before we close out, I'd like to do a quick plug for my channel membership and Patreon pages, where I give some really nice perks and rewards to those of you that very kindly support the channel. This video is sponsored by our patrons and channel members. In return for your support, I offer some nice rewards and perks. For starters, there is my piano inspiration series, exclusive behind the scenes videos, podcast feed for sharing audio tracks by myself and other community members, written articles, posts and reviews, my growing collection of backing tracks for fun practice sessions, free album downloads and giveaways. The price is $1 per month on Patreon or $2 on YouTube. Access to my entire piano inspiration series is $5. That feels like a fair price, and I hope you agree. The perks on each platform do vary slightly, so please check before you sign up or contact me first. Thank you for sponsoring this video.